Hey, hello. I'm going to go through and explain uh, what I do in an Indian head massage and connect it to German New Medicine as well. So in massaging, I always ask first before what is hurting in the body to give you an indication of what's going on. And handedness is important. So if someone is right hand dominant, then uh, the left side is their mother-child side. Right side is partner and everyone else. So dad, partners, work people, siblings, cousins, someone who cut them off at the grocery store, everyone else. So it's really just remembering the non-dominant hand is mother child. Okay. If someone is left hand dominant, then the right side is mother child, the non-dominant hand. So it gives you a place to start to know maybe what is connected, psyche, brain organ connection, okay, according to German New Medicine. And if they're not sure, then you can have them clap. And depending on what hand is on top, which one feels more natural, that gives you the indication. If they're still not sure, some people clap straight up and down. So I just say pick a side. But if they're still not sure, then a fun way to ask is if you were to have a play fight and they had a sword and a shield, which hand has the sword? Then, in their mind, they're actually seeing which one is going to be the one they would use for protecting themselves. That we're looking for the brain relay, which one is more dominant. Okay, so just a couple ways that you can ask someone to find out, and then asking them what is hurting in the body today. So I'll give you some of the common ones. So headaches can be from boundaries, could be from frontal fear as well. The neck is where you don't feel supported in relationship. And the reframe for that is where you are supported. So thinking about what is going well in the relationship, what things do you like? Bones, ligaments, muscles all have to do with self-devaluement or self-esteem, self-worth. In healing, usually the bone hurts when it's healing and repairing, rebuilding the body. And so just something to be mindful of. If there's a severe separation or a brutal separation, then the skin or the area around the bone is called the periosteum. That hurts. It actually burns. It hurts quite a bit in separation, a severe separation. And depending on where it is, it tells us a little bit more. Left foot, right foot, shoulder, it could be the hip as well, sciatica, that could be connected to self-devaluement in healing, could also be connected to severe brutal separation if it is the periosteum. So it's like this sheet, the myelin sheet, or like a layer of skin almost on the outside of the bone. The bone is where blood is formed, and anyone with anemia that is feeling can be severe loss and low self-esteem as well. And the opposite is leukemia. So when there's so many white blood cells, okay? So just something to keep in mind as someone is sharing and talking about what is going on in the body. So neck is relationships, shoulders, the root word in German is guilt. And so then we're looking at clearing off guilt from those areas. And I'm going to show you that in just a moment. The back, the shoulder blades is a feeling of betrayal. Okay, so being stabbed in the back kind of thing, and on what side it is, you'll get a sense for that. So on the hips, this burden is too great is the message there, depending on what side. Like something is happening in their life and it's too much. They don't have the strength, they're tired. They've maybe been fighting this for a long time and they're done, they're tired. So again, left side, right side, what is happening with that? Skin is separation, anything skin related, either wanting to be separated, were separated from someone, or a fear of being separated. Okay. And then in the chest is after shoulders, moving out the guilt, mother child, partner, everyone else. Then when we're massaging the lungs, it's grief, loss, sadness. Okay, then panic, suffocation, and fear of dying. Those are the 6 that I go through. And I'll show you in just a moment how I do that. But when someone has lung cancer, as an example, it's from a loss that hasn't been, or a shock, or a panic, or a fear of dying. And usually the resolution hasn't happened. It could still happen in their life. So they're holding on to that. There's that fear. It can also be just fear from the diagnosis as well. So just being mindful of, is your body in healing, or are you in adaptation of an uncomfortable situation? Those are the 2 phases. And if your body's really hot, you are in healing. So that's a really good sign. You want to drink or eat cooling foods. If your body is cold, then you are in conflict and you want to eat warming foods. Now, conflict can be when you feel like there's a tiger, fight, flight, freeze, fawn. Fawn is the people pleaser. And when you're in conflict in the 2 stages, you have no symptoms. Your body will not have any pains. There won't be the symptoms necessarily, unless it's a pain in conflict. So usually in conflict, there's no symptoms. You're cold most of the time, and you're not hungry, and you're barely peeing based on what you're consuming or what you're drinking. Okay. And then you resolve the thing that's happening, and then your body goes into the first healing phase. This is when you have symptoms. So this is when you're going to have night sweats, possibly. Protein is very important. I personally feel that sea salt in your water is good all of the time. It becomes an electrolyte and gives you back your minerals. And then what'll happen is, after you've got symptoms and you find it gets a little bit worse or a lot worse, you're like, oh, why do I have this? It's worse now. That can be the edema that's leaving the brain, pushing out of the body or out of the brain. And so it's basically telling your body, think of like a lever or a switch. From the symptoms, that's your restoration or the construction crew rebuilding your body. And then when the edema or the fluid is leaving the brain, then that's telling the body to switch over to the peeing phase, the cleanup crew, I call this, okay, where that you're going to pee a lot. Like, you'll just feel really heavy, full pees that are coming out. And that is the construction workers, the fluid and the things you don't need are going to come out now. I want to talk about the kidneys, because I think this is an important part too, with, just the amount that you're peeing. Is kidneys in German New Medicine has to do, think of the word air with an E. So it's abandonment, isolation, refugee, and existential crisis. And so if you all of a sudden resolve something and you feel safe, or you don't feel abandoned, or you feel, a really good phrase for this is I have me. Even though, chaos can be all around you, as long as you feel safe and you feel like you know your path and where you're going, the kidneys are not going to need to close up. They're not going to be in that fight or flight. Think of like when your body's in like a fight or flight or kind of moment, something is going to happen, or feeling something bad is going to happen, then it's like there's a tiger that's coming. Okay. But with the kidneys, when you can relax, breath work is always number 1, to deeply breathe through your diaphragm or your lower belly. That helps to relax the body and telling your body that you're safe. If you struggle with anxiety or just a feeling of the unknown, just putting your body or your hand anywhere in your body, on your chest up here, tells your body you're safe. Also on your belly, tells your body you're safe. That, as you do that more and more, it allows or tells your kidneys, like, it's okay, there's no tiger. And so then the kidney tubules, what happens when you're in fight or flight is, or that kind of feeling is, they close and they hold on to the fluid in the body so that it can turn it into protein. It's called urea. It will turn it into protein so that it can feed you if you're too depressed, or you're just not, your body knows that you're in a state of conflict. But the calmer you are through breath work, getting a good night's sleep, sun gazing that last hour before the sun goes down, will actually repair your body, the colors and the cues of the sun. So these are some of the things that you can do for the body to help to relax and to be in a calm or rest and digest. Okay, so I'm going to share how to do the massage right now, and why I go through each of the processes. They are connected to German New Medicine, but it'll give you an idea on how to relax the body so that it can actually go into a healing phase. Okay, so the head is you are massaging starting from the bottom here, the bottom of the crown, in really big, slow circles. Okay. And so just with the connection, I mean, we are electrical. So if I put my hands together in a mudra, then I've created a circuit around in my body. When I put my hands with someone else or on the head, I'm creating that circuit as well, just telling the body that it's safe. And I always send telepathic messages into the body of you are vital, you're safe, you're a parent, you know, you're a good dad, you're a good mom, whatever the conversation was before we started the massage. And as far as the pressure, always let the client know that they can ask if they want it harder or softer as far as the pressure, and that they are safe to ask. Most people will harder themselves and not say anything, and it may be uncomfortable. So just giving them the permission to share that if they want either a harder massage or a little bit lighter, just depends. Then intuitively, you just use your hands to follow. A lot of people love the temples being rubbed, especially the overthinkers. Those are in their head more. And the head, really massaging ears to get you out of your head and into your body. You're not going to resolve anything through your thinking brain, through your head. You got to resolve it from your gut, from your body, from your intuition or your instinct. Okay, that's where the answers are going to come. And for most of you, if you ask yourself yes or no questions, you'll get your answers that you need a lot faster. Okay, that's human design. Generators, manifesting generators, if you ask yes or no questions, you're going to get the answers. You'll have more secure answers that come in. Muscle testing is also really good. Okay, and then massage the same on both sides. So I'm going to show you on the camera here. Just massaging down into the back of the head. Move the hair out if they have long hair so that you can really get in and just slow and intentional where you can speak kind words into the body. That helps to restructure their tissues. Most of us are, you know, in all of the ailments or the connection, the emotional connection behind our body pain has some kind of connection to self-worth, worthiness, feeling valuable. So that could be a message, you know, you are valuable as you're massaging into the body. We all had a 1 in 400,000 chance of that sperm hitting the egg, so we are meant to be here. Okay, so then you just follow your hand and your intuition, whatever you feel to massage. If someone has a bump on the head, that's usually a connection to anger, and on what side of the body it is going to tell you who it could be connected to. Massage in the neck as well for relationships. Soft and gentle here. Be careful. The lymphs are here and there. That's a gentle touch for the lymph. Then you go back to the middle and you do the round circles up again. Side the ear always feels good here behind. You want to do both sides so that it's even Steven for the body. I don't use any oils until I get to the shoulders and to the chest. If someone has a shirt on, then I don't normally use the oil. So it depends on their comfort level. And the face, I don't normally massage the face unless they've got some sinus issues. And I'm just basically trusting my intuition. But I do massage along the jawline because many of us have a hard time speaking our truth or asking for things we want. And so that can be really tight. If anyone grinds at night or they're grinding their teeth or the jaw is sore, again, on what side is important, mother, child, or partner and everyone else, I just gently massage on the chin. And then the lymph is 3 times on each side to clear anything in the lymph. And I'm just gently speaking to the body to clear whatever fluid the body may be holding on to. This is really just telling the body that it's safe. There's no tiger. Okay. And then shoulders, I just put my hands here just to connect to the body. And I'm talking to the client at the same time, a person I'm massaging. The shoulders, the root word is guilt in German. So in German New Medicine, we're clearing off mother-child side and then partner and everyone else energetically and emotionally off the body. So as you're massaging and you start to clear and get in here, also go like the shoulders with a little bit of pressure to clear off, and you'll feel if there's any crunchy parts. Usually that is connected to someone. There's an emotional part that they're holding on to. Think of the weight of the world on your shoulders. So some phrases here is everyone is always doing the best they can with the skills they had, including our parents. Think of them at 3 to 5 years old and where they learned their coping skills. Okay. And so everyone's on their own soul journey. Don't hold on to any one step. Clear and let go. So I invite you to take 3 deep breaths. I'm going to clear your mom off of your left shoulder, your non-dominant side, any guilt that you're holding on to. Okay. I work on the quantum, so it's quick and it's just really the intention that the body doesn't need to hold on to it anymore. So clearing off mother. If they've told me some bigger stories around mom or dad or someone else, then I do a little bit more work there. And then clearing children. Okay. If someone doesn't have children, it could be anyone that they view as their children. It can also be fur babies. Okay, and then massaging down the arms as well as just telling the body that it's safe, it can relax. This is when the body goes into healing. Okay, and then I just shake off the energy each time. And then next is going to be partner side. So I always start with dad, just clearing any guilt with fathers. It could be a feeling of not being validated, not being seen. This is where, from our dads, we receive self-esteem, their worthiness. So if you're a dad, tell your kids you love them and that you're proud of them. And this can be, where maybe you seek validation outside of yourself from other people. It can be because you do not seek that validation from your mom or dad. And so just clear that and start to seek that validation from within instead. You have all your answers inside. Your soul knows. So just clearing that off. So I'll do dad, then I do partner. Okay, and then if there's a crunchy spot, I'll ask, is there someone there? Let's just clear it. I don't even need to know the story or the person. I'm just telling them they're the only ones that can clear it themselves. So either imagining those emotions going out of their feet, you can ground them by imagining roots from the feet. Okay, so yeah, just clearing out and grounding, imagining roots from your feet going down to the ground, wrapping around rose quartz or amethyst crystal, whatever. You can talk to them about grounding too. But that's what the shoulders is, to clear guilt. If there is a crunchy spot, it's a little bit of a calcium buildup. And so you can have them breathe out and just try to hold and push in some pressure, but we're clearing through and we're clearing out guilt, maybe betrayal, depends on where in the back it is. And that they can let it go, that everyone was doing the best they could with the skills they have. Everyone's on their own soul journey, so you're not holding anyone else's stuff. Give yourself permission. They are on their own soul journey, and so you don't want to hold other people's stuff because they have their own lessons to learn from hard things in life. And so we don't want to bubble wrap our kids or other people. So it's letting that part go. And usually from the psyche or just the, giving permission or talking about it, the intention, a lot of people can clear their stuff right away. It's really neat. They'll have like a knot in the shoulder. We talk about it, we clear together. And sometimes if it's a bigger situation, I'll breathe in and clear as well, remembering to turn your head so you're not breathing on them. And often it clears immediately right from that. Muscles, bones, ligaments is self-devaluing or self-esteem, not feeling good enough at some level. And so usually with some awareness, people can clear, oh yeah, I'm not holding on to that. That was so long ago, I don't need to hold that in my body, and the body will just clear it. It's really, really cool how quickly someone can shift from that. Okay, then next is the lungs. So I just put my hands here to calm the body, and I'm talking about 6 different things that I cleared here. So again, mother, child, and partner, and everyone else side. But first, I always do mother, child. And so for here, we're clearing out grief, loss, sadness. Okay, those are the 3 main ones, often connected to Chinese medicine, but with lung cancer, it's actually from a loss that has not been resolved. Can be connection to that as well. So it's grief, loss, sadness, panic, suffocation, and fear of dying. Okay, those are the 6. And you can take it on for someone else. You could be a surrogate. If you have a child that is suffering through some things, you can take it on for them. And so just clearing, I imagine, as I'm massaging over here, I imagine the lung and like I'm spring cleaning and clearing up the things. A lot of tears can come from this time, and that's really great. I call crying spring cleaning. But as you get out those hurts and those, the parts of you that want to be witnessed, it allows for more room or more capacity for other things to come in. Okay. So when massaging, I'll ask often, especially for women, do you want me to massage just your higher lung, or do you want me to massage the full lung, which goes all the way down to the diaphragm? The diaphragm goes up under the ribs and is secure, it just tucks up under there. And if you have someone who has any snoring issues, then the diaphragm is locked. They're not breathing. They're in chest breathing. They're not breathing through with their whole belly. And what the body is saying, think of the animal kingdom and survival of the fittest. And so the body, when someone is snoring, is saying, I'm too stressed. I can't take on any more tasks. So it's like a dog growling. And at night, the body's trying to process and heal. And so that's what snoring is saying, like, do not give me any more to do. So that's just a note for someone who does have issues with snoring, is what has to come off your plate. What do you need to reframe in your mind of, like, I get to do this. I get to look after this family. I get to, resolve this situation or whatever it is. If you change the word from have to get, then sometimes that can be enough to soften. And so just pay attention. If you are snoring, then you're not taking care of yourself well enough, in the sense of you're not allowing for that space for the body to relax. You're not playing enough. You're, it's not all work, work, work. Just as much as you work, you have to make time for rest and pleasure and relaxation as well. Okay. We've been taught that we're only valuable when we're working or doing something, but not true. You're valuable just for being born, just for being. Okay. So to massage the chest. And so we'll be asking, would you like higher chest or full chest? Okay, make sure you ask. We've already chatted before, so I'm going to massage the whole chest. And as you go over, massaging both sides, left brain, right brain. And then I'll say, okay, we're going to clear mother, child, loss, grief, sadness, panic, suffocation, and fear of dying. You don't need to rush this part. And then you just start to massage very gently, imagining the lung and that you're clearing the lung of any of those heavy emotions. Okay, so keep taking deep breaths. And if they've been moving through something or someone has passed, have them take deep breaths, but if they can blow it out, like doing that helps them. It gives them something to do where they think that they're helping to move those emotions out as well. Okay. So I'll do mother and then child. And then on the other side, father first, partner, and everyone else. Just depends on the conversation or what you're feeling to go with and your time as well. And then it's just massaging all of those things: grief, loss, sadness, panic, fear of dying, and suffocation. And I say them once on both sides so that they have a memory of like, oh yeah, that's what we're clearing. You can tell when you're at this angle from someone, if they're worrying about someone. So the breast is a worry nest conflict or separation conflict. So I had a male customer in yesterday, and I noticed his left breast was a little bit bigger than the other one. So I said to him, it was his mother-child side, are you worrying about someone in your family? There's a loss or a separation, like nest worry or separation. And yes, it was grandchildren that he wasn't able to see anymore. And so we breathed through that and we were clearing the loss that he feels. These are real things that the body is holding on to. So it's not anything to be afraid of, but just to look at why is the body holding on to that? The body speaks for the subconscious, okay, for the psyche, whatever someone is ruminating on. Okay, some bigger ones are lower back, not feeling supported. Financial worries also falls under there. So the reframing is that, everything's going to work out, giving them some things to say that helps the body to rebuild and to clear and let go of whatever the muscles are holding on to. The hips, this burden is too great. That can be from something that's really difficult. It can also be from when couples are not intimate enough. Someone maybe is feeling like there's no intimacy in their relationship. A lot of people have hip issues, and it really comes down to they do not feel loved and cared for at home. That intimacy has stopped, or that there's conditions on it, or something like that. So it's something to bring up and mention if anyone's having issues in the lower back or the hip. The way that the body, when we're intimate, the way that the body moves is on purpose in nature to keep all of our body parts lubricated. So if you're single or you're in a relationship and that is not happening, then it's important to still, massage and move your body in that manner. Even just, gyrating your hips as you lie down in bed. It doesn't have to be sexual, but just moving those body parts. Think of like, oiling a part of a bicycle or a car. It's the same kind of thing with the body. Okay, then next would be the knees. That's another common issue. And again, mother, child, partner, and everyone else. Knees has to do with feeling of self-devaluement, not being able to do something well. Think of like sports or business or, just something where something you do or work, athletic, something that's maybe competitive and it's connected, whatever knee it is connection to either mother, child, or partner and everyone else. Ankles, not feeling supported. Anything hips and down can also be a fear of like wanting to move forward, but you can't. The gentleman yesterday had issues with his lower leg as well. And it's because in retirement, he wanted to spend time with his grandchildren and now he's not able to. So it's like in his foot is this feeling of like either wanting to stomp or to kick the situation or the person that's blocking that from seeing the grandchildren away, where the body is speaking. It tells us a little bit more. So usually on the feet, if there's some pain, it's that periosteum. It's the skin or the sheath around the bone, and it can be very painful. So it's processing and understanding, am I brutally separated from someone or want to be? That is another connection to some of the body pains, or sciatica, the hips, feet, the arms can also be, you want to hold somebody, but you can't. And where the pain is also tells us another story. If it's on the inside, it's wanting to hold someone close. If it's on the outside of your leg or your arms, it's wanting to push someone away. And handedness is important here as well, mother, child, partner, and everyone else. So there's some main things on the body and how that works. So in an Indian head massage, it's head and chest. It's head, neck, head get you out of the body or out of your head and into the body. Neck is where you don't feel support in relationship, reframing to where you are supported or where you can go for support. Most of us are by ourselves or alone, but we have resources. So a phrase is, I am by myself, but with resources. So that you're telling your body, yes, this is hard right now, but it's going to be temporary, or I'm going to figure out a way to make this work. Shoulders is guilt. Okay. And guilt is very interesting because if you didn't do anything wrong, then there's a deeper emotion. It may be that resentment, it might be fear, it could be apathy. There's other emotions. I did an emotional ladder video on YouTube, or send me a message and I'll send it to you on how to move through the emotions. This is very important so that we're not holding the stuff in our body. That's when the body starts to speak and shut down, so to speak. And then the lungs, again, is grief, loss, sadness, panic, fear of dying, suffocation. And we're massaging that out. Anyone who has asthma, there is usually a panic or like being startled. Bronchitis is 2 conflicts in the brain, and so is pneumonia. So it's just like stages, asthma. If someone has allergies where they can't breathe, whether it's pollen or something, their body has tagged pollen or gluten or something as something bad happened when the body was doing this or at this time of year. So it's reframing that you're safe, that that thing happened, but it can't happen again. You have more skills, or you can tell someone where to go, whatever it is, that your subconscious is going to believe you, that you're. And then to finish off the session, I'll massage the head again just to relax the body. And then I have a tuning fork, and I use that. And that is to show the body whatever the hertz is. I have a 528 to reprogram or restructure the tissues so that it will go into calm. And I just do that once over each ear and then over the full body so that the vibration and the sound from the tuning fork is going into the body to allow more rest and calm. And the neat thing is afterwards, the body has relaxed, but it's not just the body. We can't just look at the symptom. You have to figure out why is it there. And once you know why it's there, you can start to reframe how you feel about yourself or the situation in a more empowered state, then the body will heal and it will resolve and it will not come back. Okay, someone who came in with sciatica issues had surgery 2 years ago and sciatica is bothering them again. Absolutely, because they didn't look at why they have it. They didn't resolve what was in the psyche. So this is very important so that this, the body is going to heal once and for all. So the situation has not resolved, but he has now more power or understanding why he has it, and he can talk himself down or out of it so that the body clears and lets go, and it's not in that fight or flight as much anymore. Knowing the body and how to read your body symptoms is really important, because then you can process, okay, I've got a hip issue or a neck issue or shoulder. You can actually process what's going on in my environment. Where am I maybe either in healing because I've been standing up for myself or thinking better thoughts, strong mind, strong body, or am I in adaptation of an uncomfortable situation and my body is in like a guarding situation? So then you know where to go with the work and what to do. Okay, so that gives you an example of Indian head massage, and this is something you can do for loved ones. If you were a couple, then you can actually go deeper into intimacy through that. A lot of fun, just calming and relaxing the body. It helps shift as well from like busy life to coming into a quiet time together. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. And if you have any more questions, please reach out or connect with me on my website, oasisofhealingspa.com.